It's been years since I stepped foot inside my old high school, but when I got the invitation for the alumni reunion, I couldn't resist. The email said to come after hours, around 8 p.m., when the school would be quiet and we could reminisce without distractions. I didn't think much of it at the time. I should have. I pulled into the parking lot at 7:45, surprised to find it completely empty. No cars, no lights in the windows, nothing. The school loomed in front of me, its brick walls casting long shadows under the dim glow of the streetlights. I figured maybe I was early, so I grabbed my coat and headed for the front doors. They were unlocked, which struck me as odd, but I brushed it off. Maybe the organizers had left them open for us. The moment I stepped inside, the air felt wrong. Thick, heavy, like the building was holding its breath. The hallway stretched out in front of me, dark and silent except for the faint hum of the fluorescent lights flickering above. My footsteps echoed as I walked, each one sounding unnaturally loud in the emptiness. I called out, "Hello?" but my voice just bounced back at me, hollow and strange. I checked my phone, no signal. Of course. I decided to head to the auditorium, where the reunion was supposed to be held. As I walked, I noticed little things that made my skin crawl. Lockers were slightly ajar, their doors creaking as if someone had just slammed them shut. Classrooms had their lights off, but I could swear I saw movement in the shadows, like figures darting just out of sight. I told myself it was my imagination, but the knot in my stomach tightened with every step. When I reached the auditorium, the doors were closed. I pushed them open, expecting to see a crowd of old classmates, but the room was pitch black. I fumbled for the light switch, and when the lights flickered on, I froze. The room was empty. Not just empty, pristine. The chairs were perfectly aligned, the stage spotless, like no one had been here in years. No decorations, no signs of a reunion, nothing. That's when I heard it. A faint sound, like whispering, coming from the back of the room. I turned, but there was no one there. The whispering grew louder, more urgent, though I couldn't make out the words. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. My heart started to race and I backed toward the doors, but they slammed shut behind me. I spun around, yanking at the handles, but they wouldn't budge. The whispering turned into laughter, low, guttural, and dripping with malice. I felt a cold breath on the back of my neck and I whirled around, but there was nothing there. The lights began to flicker, and in the flashes of darkness, I saw them. Shapes, figures, moving toward me from the corners of the room. They weren't human. They were shadows, twisting and writhing, reaching out with long, spindly fingers. I don't know how I got out. I remember screaming, throwing myself at the doors until they finally gave way. I ran, not looking back, not stopping until I was outside, gasping for air under the cold night sky. When I turned to look at the school, the windows were dark again, silent, as if nothing had happened. I never found out who sent that email, and I never went back. But sometimes late at night, I hear that laughter again, faint and distant, like it's waiting for me to return.